the tech basically disappears and the creativity takes over. Instead of what can this camera do, it becomes what do I want to express. That's when you know you have built something truly invisible. If you are already a successful content creator, chances are you will stick with the proven formulas
Correct.
because they're working, right? But the moment when you hit your growth ceiling,
Correct.
that's when you start asking, okay, what's next? Start small, always start small. This almost never feels like an either-or choice. Strong ideas can still thrive even with imperfect tools, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, test safe skill before going all in. Perfection comes later, iteration by iteration. I think it's less scary that way.
Yeah. Coming up on Design Mindset, why the most powerful design systems are the ones you never notice working, and how invisible infrastructure enables breakthrough creativity. Hey creative minds, welcome back to Design Mindset. I'm Radhika Seth. Today's episode is brought to you by Insta360, and we are diving into one of the most fascinating concepts in design, the invisible grid. Those systematic frameworks that work so seamlessly, they disappear completely, allowing pure creativity to emerge. I'm joined today by Edward, who brings a unique global perspective into this conversation. As a product design lead and the head of integrated design department at Insta360, Edward has experienced firsthand what happens when technology becomes truly invisible. A UPenn graduate who works, studies, and lives across the US, Sweden, and Shenzhen, he leads teams creating systems that millions of creators rely on daily. With more than 50,000 followers across platforms, he's not just designing these invisible grids, he's using them to create content that inspires others. For those who are not familiar with Insta360, Insta360 is a leading company specializing in 360-degree cameras, action cameras, and innovative imaging solutions. Founded in 2015, Insta360 quickly expanded its reach worldwide. Now they are number one as the US market leader in 360-degree cameras. And their mission, which I truly, really adore and admire, is a mission to help people better capture and share their lives. But here's what makes today's conversation so relevant. This just isn't about cameras or technology. It's about invisible systems that enable innovation. The framework, the workflows, the systematic thinking that allows and enables creators to push boundaries rather than fight with their tools. So, whether you're building design systems, creating workflows, or developing any kind of systematic approach to creative work, this episode will transform how you are thinking about invisible infrastructure and the power of systems that work so well that nobody notices them working. Just like the Insta360's invisible selfie stick technology or their seamless 360-degree stitching that creates one perfect sphere of multiple perspectives. The best systems disappear so that magic can happen. Edward, welcome to Design Mindset, and let's explore the invisible grid.
Sure. Let's get started.
Yes, let's get started. So, here's starting with the bigger picture. In your experience, what's the fundamental difference between people who innovate and people who follow? Is it just risk tolerance, or is there something deeper according to you?
Well, I think risk tolerance plays a part, but honestly, it goes deeper. Innovators set the rule of the game, define the categories, they create benchmarks everyone else tries to reach, right? Others, they usually asking, how do I do this? How do I do that? How much will it cost? They just copy ideas and try to compete on price.
Oh my God. So then when you're using something like the X5, which was designed for from first principles, does it change the way you create?
I think totally. With tools like that, I can ignore the technical limits first. I
Mm-hmm.
think about the story I want to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of what can this camera do, it becomes what do I want to express? Now, tech basically disappears
Ah,
and creativity takes over.
fair enough. Fair enough. So let's go beyond technology. In your own creative work or career choices, how do you avoid the trap of just doing what everyone else is in your field doing first? Like, how do you avoid that trap?
Mm, I think this is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a rule that I share with my team of about 40 people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, don't just do something because everyone else is doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and avoid it just because nobody else doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think both of those are red flags to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I will strip the prop down to principles.
Mm-hmm.
What's the goal here? And what are the actual limits?
Mm-hmm.
Once you do that, it usually pushes you away from imitation.
Mm. True, true. Because you mentioned earlier, when we were conversing that you switched to 360 capture before it was even mainstream. And that's a pretty bold move, if you ask me. So, what was your personal decision behind this?
You know, for me, traditional cameras couldn't give me the immersive experience,
Hmm.
but 360 did. Even though the tools were pretty rough back then,
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather help shape a new medium than spend years fighting for tiny improvements in a crowded one. So
Yeah.
that, yeah. So that's also the innovator versus follower's choice right there.
Correct. And psychologically also, what drives someone to take that harder path? The innovative one over the safer, proven path. Like, so what was your thought process or your inspiration for it?
For me, I think it's all about impact and achievement.
Hmm.
Following makes you competitive
Hmm.
because you can catch up fast by copying, right?
Correct, correct.
But
Yeah,
yeah, but innovating makes you unique. It's
true.
harder. Yeah, it's harder, but the payoff, you can get the sense of purpose, the sense of satisfaction,
Yeah.
right? It's way bigger than the comfort of staying safe.
Yeah, yeah, that is so true, because innovation, though the harder path, the payoff, you're right, it's really, really big, And let's be honest, because pioneering isn't easy, to be the first one in the system and breaking the rules or trying something new, the new tools that you create, there are steep learning curves also, to be very honest, and figuring things out on your own. So in your process and in your systems, how do you weigh those costs against the benefits? What's your thinking on that?
Well, for me, I treat it like tuition,
Oh,
right? Those early struggles and fees you pay for the future. I think it's just like a flywheel. At
uh-huh.
first, it's heavy, it's clunky, it's slow, right?
Huh.
But but once you get a momentum,
Huh.
everything compounds.
Correct.
So by the time your competitor catches up, you have already built years of experience they just can't buy.
Yeah, that's so true. That's it's something that I've noticed with the X5 too, the
Yeah.
185-minute battery, the replaceable lenses, the pure video for low light that you have. These aren't gimmicks, they are real solutions to the problems that people have been having. And you only realize, all of these benefits that are there once you have tried it out in the field. So, for me as an end user, I'm enjoying the hard work that you've put in. So, how do innovators like you anticipate these needs of the cloud?
Mm, I would say by being the user.
Ah,
You know, innovators, they don't just sit in the ballroom reading reports, right? They get their hands dirty. They push the gear until it breaks and then rebuild it from that experience. You know,
Okay.
anticipating needs is really about empathy, not data sheets.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to hear this, because this is what is the true essence of design, having empathy about what people need and, marrying empathy with the data sheets that you have, and that's another thing that I've seen, true innovators almost embrace imperfections, they're willing to work through the rough edges because they see the bigger vision that is out there. So how do you develop that tolerance? Like, what's there in your mind about this?
Well, honestly, you don't develop it. I
Uh,
think the market will teach you.
huh.
If, yeah, if you choose to take on tough problems,
Mm-hmm.
you will realize version 1.0 won't be perfect.
Correct.
And yeah, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So don't wait until it's flawless to launch.
Uh-huh.
It's always too late.
Uh-huh.
So what shall I get a solid MVP out there?
Okay.
Get users feedback and then iterate.
Oh,
Iterate 100 times, even 1,000. Let the market be your teacher.
wow. That's really a bold move, if you ask me, and very forward thinking as well. So when you're working with established innovators versus newer brands, that are still trying to catch up with you, do you notice a difference in the ecosystem that surrounds your work?
Yeah, I think the huge difference
Hmm.
with established innovators,
Hmm.
you will get entire ecosystems
Hmm.
like tutorials,
Hmm.
communities,
Hmm.
accessories, workflows,
Hmm.
right? That ecosystem compounds value
Hmm.
and make it easier to grow creatively.
Hmm.
But with newer brands,
Hmm.
you might get one decent product from like an ODM or OEM, right?
Hmm.
But no support system around it.
Okay.
Even this product is pretty good, but it's not enough.
Ah. Okay, so and that's, the really lasting advantage, I guess, building a system and not just a feature set, How does that um how does that play out in your own creative career?
Oh, yeah. For me, I think it means building not just content,
Hmm.
but systems around my work,
Hmm.
mentorship,
Hmm.
collaboration, workflows, even
Hmm.
product thinking.
Hmm.
If if you only focus on skills,
Hmm.
I think you are replaceable.
Oh,
But if you build an ecosystem,
hmm.
you become sustainable.
My God, that's such a broad way of thinking, and I like that because you're building a whole ecosystem. It's not just about the product; it's also about the people that are using the product. So I quite
Yeah.
like that. So this is the last question before we move on to a challenge, which is one of my most favorite and exciting sections. If someone realizes, is listening that realizes, wait, I've been following instead of leading, then what's the first step that they should take?
Yeah, I think it's a tough question. First, I think I think you should ask yourself
Hmm.
if you want to stay as a follower.
Huh.
I think and I think that's fine. That's
Hmm.
fine because followers can also do well.
Huh.
Why? Because you get lower risk,
Correct.
fewer mistakes.
Yeah.
Still, you can get a good life.
Hmm. True.
But No, but like our founder Jackie says, you only live once, right? If you want to be a true innovator, the challenges get bigger. So, so the first step you should ask, what's the real purpose of this product, right? When you dare to reframe the problem, the the path to innovation shows up.
True, true. Absolutely true. Because we live only once, and it's up to us whether we want to be the follower or we want to be the leader and, chart our own territory and our own path. So, this brings us, Edward, to my favorite part of our conversation, which is called the Design Mindset Challenge. It's a hypothetical situation that I'm going to be giving you, and it's perfect for exploring this innovation versus imitation dynamic that is there out in the market. So, here's my question for you. Think about it and then give me an answer. Okay. So,
Okay.
you're a content creator who's been successfully following proven formulas for your niche, using the same equipment over the years and what everyone else has been using, following trending formats, copying successful strategies, and your growth has been steadying, but now you are plateauing. And then you discover a new technology, all right? And you approach, and that approach can, completely change how the world expects things from you. It's unproven, it's a steep learning curve, and none of your peers are using it. So you're the first one using it. And your audience, they expect consistency. Moreover, the kicker, your income depends on the reliable output. And switching could mean months of lower quality work while you learn, but you have this feeling that this new approach could definitely generate, some kind of content in your space that is new and unique. And you may make the jump from becoming an innovator or stick to the person following proven path or following what works. So, how would you approach this?
Mm. Give me 1 second. Let me think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So honestly, I
Uh-huh.
think in real life, this almost never feels like a either or choice.
Okay.
So so if if you are already a successful content creator,
Mm-hmm.
chances are you will stick with the proven formulas
Correct.
because they're working, right? But the moment when you hit your growth ceiling,
Correct.
yeah, that's when you start asking, okay, what's next? So if if I were in that position,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't just quit everything and take the leap
Okay.
or stay further than where I am. What
Interesting.
shall I do? I I would start small.
Hmm.
I would try the new tech on my side projects or short experiments where the stakes are lower.
Hmm.
So in that way, your main audience will get the consistent experience or content they count on. So
Yeah.
while you are quietly build your skills for the future.
Oh my God, that is such a clever way. My God, I really like this approach. So while you're doing your main work and you're still building your steady stream of income, on the side you're innovating, you're trying out new things, and you are building up your skill set using the new technology, and then bam, you bring it into the mainstream once you've mastered it. Brilliant, brilliant answer. So how do you evaluate whether an innovation is worth the risk? What's your take on it?
Um, for these questions, I will, I've got three tests.
Hmm.
So the first,
Hmm.
can I explain this innovation in one simple sentence, even to a kid or my grandma?
Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting.
Mm, yeah. Second, does it create a unique experience that nothing else can?
Hmm.
Last but not least, if the user complaints are common,
Huh.
if complaints are common, it means there is the demand not being met,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, true.
So fixing that will unlock more adoption.
Hmm.
If I can say yes to all three,
Huh.
I think what the risk?
My, interesting. I like that approach, especially is it, simple enough to explain to anyone else and they get it? And is it unique enough that nobody else can have it? And if the complaints are there, then of course, then this is the answer to that problem. So then what would you need, to see before making that leap? What would you need?
Yeah, honestly, I would need to see all three boxes checked. That's my green light.
Okay, not like either or just one or two. Okay, interesting. So then how do you balance innovation and audience expectations?
For me, I think it starts with testing.
Mm-hmm.
So build a prototype first,
Mm-hmm.
run some small user testings,
Mm-hmm.
get honest feedback from users, let your audience, like your user, tell you how far you can push without losing them.
Mm-hmm.
In that way, you're not gambling blind, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
co-creating
Mm.
with your user, with your community.
Mm. So, this is the best part about talking with designers because they always have such a, positive approach. I love how you have broken down this into manageable steps rather than an all or nothing decision because most of us, are so emotional. We would want to go all or nothing. But this is something that design thinking and the principles of design thinking and the design mindset brings in for you, that break it down into manageable steps rather than going into an all or nothing decision, and that's exactly what the first principles of thinking looks into practice. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
So innovations doesn't mean burning ships.
Ah,
It means
correct.
finding out a safe space to explore while keeping your foundation strong.
Mm.
So that's also how you shift from follower to leader without blowing up your whole career, right?
True, true, true. So this was the end of our section of design mindset and jumping straight into the rapid fire round. So, in this section, I will ask you a question. It's like a quick, snappy question. So, whatever comes to your mind first, just don't think too much and just give me the answer, okay? Um,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
it.
let's have some fun. So, the first one is complete this sentence. The biggest mistake people make when trying to innovate is.
Trying to be different just for the sake of being different instead of solving a real problem.
Yes, that's one of the dead traps. So, one area where you deliberately choose to follow rather than lead.
Mm, I think for me, team management.
Oh, okay.
No need to reinvent the wheel when existing solutions are already reliable.
Correct, correct. And if you had to give up either cutting edge tools or cutting edge ideas, which one would you choose?
Of course, because strong ideas can still thrive even with imperfect tools, right?
Oh, yeah, correct, correct. Best advice for someone afraid to be the first at something.
Mm, start
Uh,
start small. Always start small.
okay.
Test test safe skill before going all in. I
Correct.
think it's less scary that way.
Yeah, true, true. Innovation or perfection, if you had to choose one.
Innovation, always innovation. Perfection comes later, iteration by iteration.
Ah, true, true, true. And in one word, what separates innovators from imitators?
Mm, um, I think vision,
Ah,
vision, vision. I think that's all.
wow, that's so fantastic. Edward, this has been such a masterclass in understanding invisible systems and how they enable breakthrough creativity. What strikes me most is your insight that when technology truly works, it disappears, allowing us to focus on what we want to express rather than fighting with the tools. Your key insights that really stayed with me in this conversation is that innovation doesn't mean burning ships. I really love that statement. It means carving out a safe space while keeping your foundation strong, which is so, so very important. And that's exactly, if you ask me, how invisible grids also work. They provide structure that enables freedom rather than constraining it. So, thanks to Insta360 for supporting design mindset and for showing us what happens when complex technologies become beautifully invisible. And the X5 seamless stitching, invisible selfie stick, and intuitive workflows are perfect examples of the systems that work so well. Creators can focus on their storytelling rather than technical limitations. That's so, so cool. So, for everyone listening out there, here's your challenge. Look at one of your system and your work that is there, whether it's your creative process, your team workflows, or your design frameworks, and ask yourself, does this system serve the creativity, or does the creativity serve the system? The best invisible grids amplify human potential rather than constraining it. Edward, where can people follow your work and see the systematic approach in action across your global creative journey?
Well, okay. Follow designer Mr. Mao on Red Note and TikTok.
Okay, I will be putting that down in our description so people you all can take it from there. And thanks for joining Design Mindset and for showing us that the most powerful systems are often the ones that we never notice because they're working exactly as the way they should. Your perspective from leading design at Insta360 while creating content for your followers really shows how invisible grids at working at every scale. And next week we will be following this up with a beautiful another story to tell. It's going to be equally enlightening. So remember, the best grid is the one you never see. When your systems disappear, your creativity can finally emerge. So see you guys next week. Thank you.